This is a short decode on the music video by Ariana Grande, Yes and. I don't normally do decodes on music videos. However, this one was brought to my attention by a fellow decoder on YouTube, Signs and Symbols, and he had done a brief decode of one part of this video. It's the part where she brings out the tuning fork, and he does a great job of that. So if you want to see what he has to say on that, I will link his video in the description box. I shared this video in the Discord group, inviting you to participate in showing what you see. And a couple of you were up to the task, and you asked me to share my insights, so that's what this is. This video is made possible by the generous support of TrueLove.com members. If you like this content and would like to show your support, visit TrueLove.com/membership to become a member, where you'll be able to access additional content, interact with other members through the TrueLove.com app. You are free to cancel anytime. The opening image is of an invitation on a business card, and it says AG7. AG is Ariana Grande. The following information comes from a commenter that was on Signs and Symbols video. He or she pointed out that these coordinates are to Montauk, Long Island, which was the place mentioned in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This happens to be the rumored name of her forthcoming album. The main characters in the film agreed to meet again in Montauk, which is where they first met. One of the meanings of Montauk is fortified. So the male and female agreed to meet at the gate to the fortified place, or the fornix, Fort Knox, where your gold is stored. So on the other side, it says that the critics are especially invited to attend, which suggests that no one can attend without an invitation, meaning that we are here on Earth because we have been invited to be. We chose to be here. Now, critics are people who cast judgment or maintain the duality by pointing out the flaws rather than seeing the perfection. So they're not seeing the beauty, they're not seeing through the eyes of love. And that is what perpetuates the duality. They arrive by elevator, which represents the inner vortex, but it also is a pillar, and there are two of them. It's unclear as to whether they are rising or falling, but they are in the red zone. The invitation is red, the elevator is red, the doors are red, the paint on the walls are red, and the light is red, so it's all red. And it's red for the lower consciousness, Adam. They arrive at 11:55. 11 is the mirror, and 55 is the head. So all of this is happening in the head, and it is a reflection of what is happening within. The event or performance happens within the Grand Hall. So the Grand Hall is the world stage, and the doors open precisely at 12 noon. The clock strikes 12. This also shows that we are in the realm of time. It was difficult at first to see what this was trying to convey until I got to the end. When they walk in through the doors at the very beginning, the critics are kind of low energy, critical, negative. They're hypercritical of Ariana and her work and how she looks, and they kind of don't want to be there. And as they come in, there's another crowd of critics coming out. So the crowd that's coming out is excited, pumped, high energy. They're very different from the crowd that's going in. And then this is repeated at the end. And I'll get to that in the end. So the crowd of critics take a seat as the audience to watch the show. They represent us. We are in the audience watching the play on the world stage, which is put on by the gods. The gods are the dancers who are in black and white. They are the gods putting on the show. Many of them descend from the staircase, which is the heavens. While they are watching the show, at a certain point, there's a curtain that goes up, or a sheet that goes up over the windows. This represents the veil, the fallen consciousness, and around the same time, the heat lamp turns on, which is red. So the red and the heat represents the heat is on, or the pressure. Pressure is being put on the audience to rise. Then Ariana goes into the audience and chooses two of them. And this is, as Signs and Symbols pointed out, she's using the tuning fork to determine their frequency. Are they worthy of her time and attention? And she chooses two of them, a man and a woman, to join the gods on stage. So these two have the right frequency. They have ascended, but they didn't leave with the gods. They leave with the critics. So they aren't quite yet at the level of the gods. At the end of the song, the curtain falls off the window, the veil drops, letting in the light. The illusion is gone, the story ends, and the gods return to stone, just like the statues of the gods in ancient Rome or Greece. They are forever memorialized, carved in stone, because they are the stars, the star story, forever unchanging, telling the same story over and over again. Stone is star, story, tone, Taurus. As I said at the very beginning, when the critics leave, they are completing the loop, as they are now the enthusiastic crowd that's leaving after the performance, as the others, the new set of critics, pour in with their judgment and curiosity and perhaps apprehension, just as they did when they first entered the hall. Because as we leave here and we know the truth of this place, we are enlightened and laughing high on the truth. They're also taking off their coats and they're all loosened up and they're taking off an outer layer of clothing as if they've been transformed physically, not just emotionally. They've shed some of their seriousness, they've shed their critical nature, they're having a good time, they're lighter, they're lifted, and that's why there's a sign that says loft as they exit. So they may be on a loop, but as they leave, they changed. They are elevated by the show. The scene at the end with them turning back into stone and the critics leaving, it's coming full circle, but they leave in a changed state. So it's the same but different every time. This is why it may be a circle, but it's actually a spiral, because if you leave in a changed state, you're not leaving the same way you entered in.